Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. How are you? Welcome to the show at Rise Up Show with me, your host, the Queen Bee, Dani. How are you feeling? As we chat this morning to the devilishly handsome, the fabulously wonderful, the incredibly knowledgeable Mr. Fidel Hill, the modern man. Good morning. Jodie Soul, good morning. Fabna Reddy, good morning. Elise Woodbine, good morning. The devilishly handsome Ian Dixon, good morning, sir.
Shut up, for fuck's sake. Jesus.
The fantastic Lizzie Jackson Barrett, good morning. Josephine Sandra, everybody, good morning. Good morning, you lovely. I don't even recognize. I need a new title sequence, don't I? I don't recognize that person. It's weird. It's weird and it's amazing. Just how many laughs we've had on the show at Rise Up Show, and how many incredible guests that we've had. And just a reminder for everybody that those are the normal title sequences for the show at Rise Up Show. It's been about 5 weeks or so that we've been playing the other videos, the Be Inspired videos, and we're going to be doing a little bit of shaking things up here on the show at Rise Up Show, my angels. We are going to be creating once again a phenomenal roster of of guests coming onto the show, a fantastic roster of guests coming onto the show to talk to you about all of the good stuff in life and business and relationships and sex and things that are happening out in the news. We are going to be curating a phenomenal roster over the next few weeks. I'm really excited to share that with you. So we are going to ramp things back up again now that the launch is out of the way. Now that we've done Be Inspired this time, we are shifting our focus back onto the Flying Away Foundation, and also, you know, I get bored after a while doing stuff. So ramping things up here on the show at Rise Up Show to be bringing you as much value as possible. So I am on the hunt. I am on the lookout for incredible and remarkable and clever people who are from the business space, the entrepreneurial space, the service space, as long as they have got something fabulous to share with our audience. And also extra consideration is given to people from diverse backgrounds. So people who are maybe the global majority but considered minority for whatever reason. So members of the Black community, members of the Asian community, South Asian, Indian community, members of the Hispanic community, LGBTQ plus community, disabled community. Like, I want to hear from you, or I want you to get in my DMs and recommend me people. If you are connected to people and you think, you know what, they would be awesome on the show at Rise Up Show, I want to know from you. Get yourself into my DMs. And I am going to, on a Wise Up Wednesday, endeavor to bring you the very, 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 very best and broad spectrum of phenomenal people. So we're celebrating a bit of a week here at IATQB once again. Give me just 1 second, because I'm just going to check in the background that we've got our guest waiting in the wings. I hope she is. Hopefully we've got Anne Ferguson that's going to be joining us today. I've just popped in a little link to come and join us, and I can pad and talk to you about all the things that we've been getting up to whilst we're waiting. Good morning if you are watching along. Sarah Park, hello you. How are you? Lindsay McGlone in the house, currently working on a new talk. I'm very excited to see what it is that you're creating there. Zoe Stallard, hello. How are you? Let me know where you're watching from in the UK. Let me know what the weather's doing. Charlotte Clark, my darling, good morning. Kirsten Marshall is watching along. We've got our new cohort of Be Inspired watching along this morning as well. Beth Thompson, good morning, Beaut. How are you doing? Come on in. Come and get a Friday cuddle. We're sliding into the DMs of the weekend. We're telling it looks sexy. What plans have you got for the weekend? Let me know. Also, I want to know in the comments, what are you celebrating? So this week, I'm celebrating a number of things. So one is I am celebrating a fantastic mastermind day with the Amplify Mastermind. So the Amplify Mastermind is the business mastermind that I run with my incredible sister in business, Deep Bajwa, who is the well-heeled coach. And also, if you have a business that you want to scale into the luxury industry, then you want to go and check out the Luxury Business Lounge, which is the free group of my incredible friend, colleague, sister in life and business, Deep Bajwa. She runs that, and she just gives so much value to anybody who's wanting to hit that market into the luxury end. So the luxury business lounge is where you want to be hanging out. Check out her membership, Elevate, and also check her out on Instagram at the Well Heeled Coach. So we're celebrating a fantastic masterminding day with our masterminders. They're all doing incredible things, just absolutely phenomenal human beings. We are celebrating this week the beginning of Be Heard. So Be Heard began this Wednesday with an absolute bang. It always does, but I've got such a great feeling about this cohort. They're already got the hands at each other's backs. They're already supporting each other. They're already in the group, having each other's backs, and that just fills me up, because I know that this cohort are going to be fire. So I'm very, very excited to bring everybody together this week. So we're celebrating that. Other things that I'm celebrating, I was on the telly box last night. I was on Talk TV, which is controversially the new home of Piers Morgan, like him or hate him. But it is growing. I mean, Talk TV, formerly Talk Radio, is really starting to make some moves with regards to its profile. It was already relatively high profile, but moving into that TV space takes it up that next level. They are so Talk TV, Talk Radio have me on their books as a resident or a guest expert with regards to advocating for people who have experienced domestic abuse. So in conjunction with the Fly Anyway Foundation, it was a real honor for me to be able to do that. And that's not the first time I've done it for that media outlet. So really nice to be invited back. And it's a complete testament to the fact that I'm walking the walk, you lot. So everything that I'm teaching, if you're on the inside of my programs, if you are on the inside of Be Inspired, Be Heard, on Amplify, everything that I'm telling my clients to do, I'm going out there and doing. I think that's really important when you're sharing something and you're selling something with the world, that you are still walking the talk, that you are keeping your hand in, keeping your tools really sharp. So yeah, it was a great experience. Jezza was love him or hate him, again, is another controversial one. Love him or hate him, he does deal with the topic of domestic abuse very very sensitively, and gave me space to speak and do a little bit of education around cyclical domestic abuse. So I haven't passed comment on the Amber Heard Johnny Depp situation, because I think it's a circus, and I think that the more eyes that we get on it, the worse for those people involved, who are two people who are pretty damaged by all accounts. I think for all people may agree or disagree on that particular situation, I think we can all agree that both people, for whatever reason, regardless of money, and this just goes to show that people who experience domestic abuse, doesn't matter how much money you've got, doesn't matter the social standing that you have, you can still experience it. These are two really, really damaged people. There are no winners in that situation. Both of them are perpetuating abuse in some way, shape, or form, either of themselves or to each other. There are no winners in that situation, but it did give me an opportunity to go and highlight how do you recognize if you're being gaslighted, for example, where can we signpost people to? So one of the things Jezza asked me was, how do you help? But it was really important in that moment not to share how the Fly Anyway Foundation helps, because they were talking about point of crisis. So what we did is I signposted to things like Women's Aid or Mankind or Gallup, and then got cut off at the end. But bugger it. It was fine. It was fine. And they got the Fly Anyway Foundation name wrong, but still, all PR is good PR, especially when we're sharing and doing the good work. So I was thrilled last night to be a part of that. Also, the nominations and the voting for the National Diversity Awards has now opened. Thank you so much to everybody who's been voting so far. I'm going to pop the link to vote just in here. Give me 1 second while I do that. I will be a second. Hang on. Hold on to your knickers, you lot. Where is it? If anyone can get there before me, like, much obliged. Hang on, here it is. National Diversity Awards, Danny Wallace. There I am. Copy and then come back to StreamYard. There you are. Gonna post. This will not post in the IATQB Hive, but the link is already in the IATQB Hive. So that is the link to click to cast your vote for the National Diversity Awards. So I've been nominated as an entrepreneur of excellence. So somebody who in the entrepreneurial space is striving for diversity, who is taking considered action with regards to sharing the platform, actively seeking out people from different backgrounds. And again, with regards to how the Show Rise Up show is going to grow, that is what we are looking at. We are looking for as many different people as possible to come and share their businesses, share their insights, share their value with all of you bloody lovely lot. So loads of things that we're celebrating this week. Also, I'm going to hop on a train this afternoon, head down to London, doing it in Awana today for the gorgeous Dipti Solanke for her book launch. So pictures and behind the scenes stuff coming on stories on Instagram in a little bit. If you don't follow me already on Instagram, do us a favor, will you? At the Queen Bee, Dani. And without further ado, because I can see you backstage and I can't wait to give you a squidge. You look phenomenal, by the way. We've got the very gorgeous Anne Ferguson joining us. Good morning. I can't hear you. You're on mute.
Good morning. Hello, hello.
Hello. You look hot.
Thank you. I'm in all transparency, I'm learning how to use these. I'm not very good at it yet.
You are rocking it. I am here for it. I need to learn how to use them. What are they? Are they the GHD ones?
They are. Yeah, they're a few years old. They're great. I keep having to rescue them from my teenager's bathroom.
Yeah, this is what happens with my GHDs. It's the same thing. My straighteners, my curling ones, everything goes missing. But yeah, we're not here to talk about how amazing you look, but you do look amazing. I thought we'd start with that. You look hot. But Anne, thank you for joining us this morning. You very, very kindly said that you would share a little bit of your time with us to talk about your Be Inspired experience this morning. So thank you for that. For anybody that's watching along and has been considering jumping into Be Inspired, we've got 5 spaces left. So we've still got some availability for people to jump in, which is very excited for those 5 people. But Anne, talk to us, my sweetness. Talk to us about your
Just try to stop me. Yeah, no, Be Inspired. So I have wanted to be on a stage and have felt like I needed to be on a stage for my whole life. And it feels a bit like to say that. I don't want to be an actor. I might want to sing. But definitely speaking is something that I love. And having these kinds of conversations is something that I love. And connecting with people it gets my brain all excited. And I love it. And I tripped upon you thanks to Dipti Solanke, who you just mentioned, who was my client a couple of years ago. And I saw that she was doing this talk and I was like, oh, I want to be on that stage. And sometimes, when you have a dream for a really, really long time and you're not really sure how to get to it, you might get to it and be like, oh, this isn't what I thought it was going to be like, or feel a little disappointed because you have some imaginings of what the experience is. And that absolutely happened. Being on the stage with you was nothing like what I had imagined. It was supported. It was fun. It was safe in the sense that everyone there, you were just saying that the current cohort, everybody has each other's backs. The cohort that I was just in, the having of the back was amazing. And I was like a hang back person for a really long time until sort of the 11th hour. And I was like, surprise,
I'm here already.
And even not being in all of the group things throughout the whole process, that community was just, and continues to be to this day, like we're still exchanging messages on the regular, is having access to that community and your support with the nuts and bolts and the whats and the whys and the hows and the creating of the talk. And on the day, having that there was like, it couldn't not be amazing, right? Because everyone in that space was so supportive and genuinely encouraging, not vacuously excited, but genuinely encouraging and substantially supportive.
Yeah.
Before, during, and after. And to be in that kind of a container for some of the people who were there to, as you've said, tame those dragons. Amy was there to stand up on a stage and do the most terrifying thing she could face doing. Meanwhile, I was like, let me up there. Let me up there.
Like a cage tag. Let me go.
Yeah. So she was taming the lion and I was like, rah. But whichever end of those extremes and everything in between, you have this capacity to create that space and to apply just the right amount of structure and support and clarity that allows us to get over and through all of the different blocks that we face individually and collectively as we get close to the event. And for anybody who is considering taking one of those 5 spots, Dani didn't ask me to come today to talk about this. I will shout Dani from the rooftops. And I did just actually, I sent you what I wrote in my my vote for you.
It's difficult. Lots of people are doing that, and it's making me feel a bit like it's a lot to receive, but amazing to receive, and a testament to the work that we all do as a community. Like, I'm just here, like, kind of steering the boat a little bit. I'm just attracting the people in who are behind it, and you're my people, and you're so one of those people. Tell us, Anne, because one of the things that's really important to me is the way that we learn. Is that it can't be considered, especially when the work specifically with Be Inspired is to get as many different people as possible taking up space in the world, right? And if it was a one size fits all approach, it wouldn't work. What did we do, you and I, that may have been a little bit different than that one size fits all approach when it comes to this particular sort of mastermind?
Thank you for asking that question. So there were the 2 parts, right? There was the Be Heard part and then the Be Inspired part.
Yeah.
And the Be Heard part was the course part that you were launching before that has started. And so you're talking about the cohort who are going through that. And that was the theory and the learning and the community building and all of that stuff. To which I was like, I totally want to do that. And then I was like, I can't, I don't have time. The times don't work. And I was noticing, as someone who, I just turned 48, I was diagnosed with ADHD age 47. I have been hypersensitive my whole life. And now I'm like, oh, this makes sense. And understanding that there are some things that are triggering to me, understanding that there are some things that are hard, including applying liquid liner, obviously.
Which you smashed today.
I'm not sure I did. I can't stop looking at it. See, this is my brain. It's like, oh my God, I can see that my liquid liner's on, even on the left eye. Yeah, welcome to my brain. But being in that container, I did have wobbles that you tell us we will have. But for me, the wobble was, crap, I haven't been keeping up. I've fallen behind. I'm just gonna drop out because I can't be, it's not good enough. I'm too late. She'll be upset with me, which is something that people with ADHD and rejection sensitivity dysmorphia, which means that we're like, our brains tell us these amazing stories about how royally pissed off everybody is with us, even when people probably haven't even noticed, or they're hopeful that you're going to come back or whatever. So with all of that, and you and I have brains that work quite similarly, you were still like, you can still catch up. You have these skills. I know you in this way, in this way, in this way. We'd had lots of one-to-one conversations, and you were able to adapt the way that you worked with me because you keep the cohort size to a manageable, just the right size, right? Manageable. It meant that you could say to me, you're okay. I get it. You need me to have conversations with you, and you need me to reassure you. I get it. I'll do that. And you did. Whereas if you had 500 people in the group, that's just physically impossible, logistically impossible, and energetically impossible for you too, right? So to see all of the things that you're doing, like you're doing speaking gigs and you're singing and you're like in your car and you're going to Preston, you're doing all the things at the convention center and all, like, oh my God. And yet when you're on the call with your person, with me, you're nowhere else. And it is the kindness and I've got you, that phrase that you say over and over, and I can't replicate the way that you say it, but
I got you.
I got you. And to be able to have you say, I got you, and to not feel judged and to not feel wanting or lacking in some way was a massive relief. And that combined with the fact that I wanted to do this so badly. But I didn't want to do it in a way that felt like it might feel dangerous. Like I might be exposed, or I might look stupid, or I might fail. Because in the past, as someone who is like, I'm wildly intelligent, and it's taken a long time to own that. I'm wickedly smart. And and yet shining and taking up space and being loud and being extra has always had a cost. And
Right.
so as a woman, as a girl who was incredibly smart, who skipped all the grades, who was taller than everybody else, who was really cute as a kid, that was not a recipe, and super sensitive and just wanted everybody to like her. That was not a recipe for smooth and easy primary school or high school either. And so those things, even though I'm 48 now, those things still live in me.
There's
And
still like
so
a hangover from that, isn't there?
there's,
Still
yeah,
for a
there's a
lot of
hangover.
us.
Absolutely. And there's the fear of like, oh my God, am I going to have to feel that again? So we all have these parts of ourselves. I was talking to my coach yesterday. We all have these parts that want to protect us. And this part in me was like, you're going to look ridiculous. She must be mad at you. Oh my God, you're the student who's lagging. Oh my God, you're the one who's not. And never, not one time did you did say to me at one point, do you think you'll get this done? Do you think you'll get this done? And at the time I was having a really huge personal wobble with other things in my family. And I said, if I don't do this thing, then I won't have done, like, it's the one thing that I can see that is entirely mine, that if I don't do this, I will be so sad and disappointed that like I didn't shoot my shot. And
yeah, but it's being able to have those conversations with each other, isn't it? So for me to be able to say, hey, do you know what, Anne, I'm going to turn up for you. I'll drop everything. I'll turn up every day and get you over the line. Are you going to turn up with me? And that's the thing, isn't it? It's that like kind of locking arms. We don't leave anybody behind. And here's the thing, like, you were never behind. You were just working through things in your own way. And it's okay to do things like that. And it's a sort of an exercise in trust. Because here's the thing, you spoke about something that isn't directly, even though it is in the initial, isn't perceived to be directly associated with your business.
no.
So we had a real interesting journey to your talk. Your talk is wildly necessary and you're hugely passionate about it, but bringing these two sort of messages together so it made sense for you to speak about those things was another part of the journey that we were working through and with together. And this is another interesting thing, just like Anne said right at the very beginning, the reason you sign up may not be the outcomes that you get may not be attached to the reason that you sign up, and they're no less magical. They're even more magical because they're the bits that you uncover about yourself, where you carry yourself in the world differently, or you look at your overall messaging and see where's the good that I can do in the world with my business, on top of for you, the incredible skills you've got, your wordsmithery and the work that you do around brand messaging specifically. But you allowing yourself to come to the table and talk about, because you like, tell us about your talk title.
Sausages, butterflies, not sausages. Yeah. And the reason I called it butterflies, not sausages is because there's a story in my talk about how when my oldest daughter, who is now almost 15, was 3, I was looking at primary schools to take her to. And I went to the one that was closest to the house we now live in that we were building, and had a conversation with the director of the school and said, my kid is like intergalactic and sparkly and amazing. And I since have learned has ADHD and dyslexia. So she's neurodivergent plus, brilliant. Academically is hard, but artistically in other ways, she's incredible. And I don't want her sparkle to disappear at school. And I had seen some things in his school that concerned me. And I said, I don't want her in a school where they just churn out little square sausages so that everyone is the same.
Right.
And the response that I got was, well, here in Geneva, where I live, you can find anything. And if you want a hippy dippy school, you can go out and find that. And that was the end of that conversation. And I didn't want to put my sparkling butterfly of a kid into a system that cranked out sausages. And the reality is we have all been put through systems that want to crank out sausages until all of a sudden they want us to think outside the box.
Yeah. That in itself, so that very concept in and of itself then started to speak to the work that you do. So we spend so much of our lives in our formative years being squished into boxes, and then we're told for those of us that are entrepreneurs, we're told our whole entrepreneurial life, think outside the box. Well, how? And this is the phenomenal work that you do. So to be able to take that real game changer of a conversation. And there were so many sort of mic drop moments, light bulb moments that you created within that talk that you performed for the room at Be Inspired. And fingers crossed that you're going to be doing that on a TEDx stage, and we're going to be taking that. I say fingers crossed, there's not a hope or luck situation. It's only a matter of time. Taking that talk and then elevating that further and then taking that to the TEDx stage, but then still enabling you to capitalize on the situation as well, which is what we should be doing as speakers. We're not otherwise it's just Jack and Ori. We're just telling a story. What we want to do as speakers is we want to be able to take these impactful messages, these engaging ways of delivery, and get people on the bus. And the bus is going to drive to our destination. That destination is more people in Anne Ferguson's world, more people understanding the magic that you bring. And then from a fingers crossed point of view, or inevitably, once they know more about you, they're going to want to work with you and then growing your business. So taking impactful messaging, attaching it to your business, and then taking your audience to that destination is what I want for every single person that comes in to Be Inspired. And to have been with you on that journey was just an honor.
Well, it was one that I was able to go on thanks to you, and thanks to this tenacity of this part of me that just had always had this like secret, quiet, I don't dare to say it, dream to be up on a stage. And now that, I was up on that stage and I got off and I was like, I want to go back on. I want to go. I want to do it again. I want to go again. I want to go again. I want to go again. To see, and it's a journey, right? Like I didn't exactly get it right in that talk, bringing it into my business. Like I could have talked more about my business. I could have talked more about the fact that I'm a brand voice and messaging strategist, that my magic is language, my magic is words. And I help businesses to find the right words, especially those people like you and I who have like all the things in our heads and it's like super clear in our heads. And then it goes on the way out.
As gobbledygook.
And I just go, that thing. And we pull it out, and I get my clients saying, I don't get them, but I guide my clients to say the things that they never would dare to say.
Right.
And in a way, that's what you do too, right? And the things that we couldn't possibly say, or we don't dare say, are often the things that will help us grow our business, grow our own confidence, and differentiate us in a world that is getting busier and busier with people who are more and more distracted. So for me too, it's a journey of, okay, that was exhilarating and thrilling. I want to go again. And this is the place where, those connections need to be clearer. It needs to be easier for people to understand. So what I love about it is that it's the beginning of what is a super juicy and exciting journey for me to expand and grow my business, but also in the relationship with you, because we're still having conversations. And that's something that I really value as well. And I said this to you afterwards, that you have this capacity to create a container. And as a course provider, I have a group course, Loud and Clear, where I guide people through creating their own brand voice guide and messaging. And I work one-to-one. As a student in a course, it was really interesting to watch your skill in guiding all of us as a group, as a collective, and then individually. And it was really beautiful and a release and a relaxing experience to be held, because I tend to be the person who does that holding, right? So it was something that was hugely, hugely valuable to me. And I just see, Jody was just saying, this lady seeing into my soul, my last coaching course, she fell behind, decided he hated her, then had to spend lots of energy hiding from him.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen here. So if you're even vaguely contemplating working with Dani, and whether it's because you want to move through your maybe shaky confidence, or you have ambitions to be a speaker. I had a conversation yesterday. Two things I'll just tell you, and then I need to bounce because I've got a call with my clients. But one thing I will say is I had a conversation yesterday with someone who has 40% of her business is speaking. And she was somebody who was born with HIV. And so she initially started talking about her lived experience of growing up with HIV. And now she does consultancy and advocacy work and youth engagement around these topics. And we were having a conversation. My brain is just blipped. What was I telling you? We were having a conversation about speaking and how she grew into her business. And that's something that I'm now having conversations with on the outside with a completely different level of confidence and familiarity than I did before. The second thing I want to say is this afternoon, today in an hour, do you know who I'm having a conversation with off the back of doing Be Inspired? I
Go
was
on.
contacted, and I haven't even told you this. I was contacted by someone who has a voluntary role within UBS, so the big bank here in like the global bank,
Yeah.
who wants to run a it's called the Ability Network, I think. And so it's the Ability Network and the Women's Collective within UBS. And she's running a Swiss and UK co-hosted event where they want a speaker from Switzerland who is neurodiverse, who is hypersensitive, who is all of these things. And they're looking to bring someone in. And she contacted me off the back of, I think, your post. She found me in LinkedIn. I haven't even talked about it. So she found me in LinkedIn. So this is the power of this group, right?
Yeah.
Like I want to be speaking to huge corporations about how they use their brand voice and they communicate to people within their business and outside to recruit the right people, to keep the right people, to make them feel included. And now this starts to become possible in an hour because of what I did with you.
Absolutely. And this is only the start, and getting to the end of Be Inspired feels like such a full stop. It's not.
No.
It is open paragraph. That's just the prologue. And I cannot wait to be with you on the rest of your journey. Anyway, Anne Ferguson, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
You are a gem. And if anyone's thinking about it, jump in. Don't even hesitate. It'll change your business and your life.
Thanks so much, Anne Ferguson, everybody. Please do go and give her a follow. Go and check her out. She is just the most wonderful heart to have in your world, in your life. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. If anyone does want to have a conversation with me about Be Inspired specifically, we've got 3 lots of payment plans. You can pay in full, or you can pay over 6, 9, or 12 months. It's never been more accessible to come and be a part of it. There are 5 spaces left, and then we are done. Our cohort already are phenomenal, and you are most welcome to come and join us. As a part of that, we will be speaking in Manchester on the 29th and 30th of September. You will be we will be informing you of our new venue next week, which I'm very, very excited about. So keep your peepers peeled. In the meantime, follow me at the Queen Bee Dani across of the Instagram, and I will see you on Monday for more Showing Up, Wising Up and Rising Up. Take care.